In this video, we'll be looking at how to read a scale. So I'm going to go through 3 examples using a measuring cylinder. So when you're reading a scale, it's important that first of all we think about the range that our result is in. We count the gaps. We decide how big one gap is. We find our answer, and then finally we check our answer. And this is the process we'll go through with 3 examples. So the first example here, the first thing we need to do is figure out the range. So if we look here, this value is 5 and this value is 10. So our answer has to be between 5 to 10. Then we're going to count the number of gaps, not actually the number of little marks, but the number of gaps. So we've got 1 gap here, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5 gaps. Then we find the value of 1 gap. So we have 5 gaps, and they have a value of, well, the difference between 5 and 10 is 5. So therefore 1 gap is equal to 1. And I got from there to there by dividing by 5. So I do the same on the other side and divide by 5. So let's find our answer. So this is 5, and then each gap is worth 1. So we have 1, 2 gaps, and then we get our mark. So 5, 6, 7. So our answer is 7, and the value here is millilitres, but in physics we use the unit centimetres cubed for millilitres. And then finally we're going to check our answer, and we check our answer by counting up to the next big value. So if this is 5, 6, 7, and then we're saying 8, 9, 10, which brings us to the correct number. So I know that my answer is correct. And the answer for that measuring cylinder is the volume of water is 7 centimetres cubed. Okay, let's try the second example. So again, first thing I find is the range which my answer must be within. So it must lie within 400 and 500. So that's my range. I count the number of gaps, not marks, gaps. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 gaps. And then I find the value of each gap. So 5 gaps is equal to, well, the difference between 400 and 500 is 100. So 1 gap must be equal to 20. And again, how did I get that number? I divided by 5 to get the 1 over here. So I divide by 5 on the other side, and that's how I get the value. 1 gap is equal to 20. So let's find the answer. So this is 400. So I've got 400, and each little division is going to count 20 then. So 400, 420, 440. So my answer there is 440. Again, it says millilitres, but in physics we use centimetres cubed. Now I need to check my answer by counting up to the next value. So I've got 400, 420, 440, which was my answer, 460, 480, 500. So I know that my answer is correct. And for that one, my answer was 440 centimetres cubed. Okay, the last example here. Again, I first of all find the range that my answer must lie in. So it must lie, sorry, this is 20. It has to lie between 20 and 40. So my range is between 20 and 40. Counts the number of gaps. Okay, so this is going to be a few more. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 gaps. And then we have to find the value of each gap. So 10 gaps is equal to, well, the difference between 40 and 20 is 20. So 1 gap, well, how do I get from 10 to 1? I divide by 10. And therefore I divide by 10 on the other side. So one gap has a value of 2. Now I am going to find my answer. So remember, each gap is worth 2. We're starting at 20, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. So now I'm going to check my answer. So if that's 32, and we're going up in 2s, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, which means I'm right. But also, I just check, is my answer within the right range? Yes, it is. And let's check the other ones as well. Is this answer within the right range? Yes, it is. Is this answer within the right range? Yes, it is. So that just acts as an extra little check for you. So my answer to this question is the answer is 32 centimetres cubed. And I hope that helps you to read scales. So if you just follow this little process where we first of all find the range, we count the gaps, we find the value of each gap, then we find the answer, and do not forget, always check your answer to make sure that you're right. Thank you.